Welcome to Reverse Marketing, when your clients demand you. So what is reverse marketing? There are really two ways to sell. There's the slow way and the fast way. You can knock on doors and you can ask for the sale. That's the slow way. And it's pounding and pounding and it's a grind. It's really, really hard to do. And of course, we rarely see people go from door to door to door. But face it, when you have a widget or a gidget or something you want to sell and you're asking everybody, hey, you want to buy my widget or gidget? You're really knocking on doors. And we want to get away from that because that's not only hard, it's slow. You really need to be good at what you're doing. The fast way is when clients bang down your door and desperately ask for your help. And how do we do this juxtaposition, this actual reverse marketing where it's not you going out and trying to convince somebody that they need your service or your product, but in fact, they're already coming to you. But it's more than just being the expert. It's more than just having proof. It's about being the undisputed leader in your niche. Your best clients are educated clients. They know you, they trust you, they know what you're going to be doing for them, and they know that you deliver. And for me, that is the biggest part of this whole thing, is how often have you followed somebody, taken somebody's advice or whatever, or expected them to be able to help you out, and they didn't do it? And how disappointed were you in those people? Well, with reverse marketing, they already know that that huge obstacle to the close of the sale is gone. They know that you deliver what you say you're going to deliver. So what would happen if you had 1 hour with your ideal client? Would they be hooked on you? Would they know that you were the answer to their problem? Of course they would. If you had 1 hour with your ideal client, they would know you are the person that they need to work with. The question then becomes how to spend hours with your ideal clients without spending hours with your ideal clients. Because we want to use the internet to leverage ourselves. We want to use technology to leverage ourselves. And we want to have time freedom along with financial freedom. There's not much point in making millions of dollars a year if you're working hundreds of hours a week. And the beauty of reverse marketing is you don't have to do the work more than once. And it keeps on working for you again and again and again. So if your answer is yes, then you're in the right place. But before we get to the details of reverse marketing, may I have a moment to introduce myself? I'm Scott Patton. I have a few friends on Facebook. I have a few followers on Twitter. And I've made my reputation co-producing podcasts on iTunes. Here's just a small sampling of what you can find if you search my name on iTunes. I'm known as the Dean of Blogonomics and Podology. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I have award-winning courses. I have over 14,000 podcasting students. I have over 100 5-star reviews of my podcast courses. Lots of people have lots of nice things to say about me. I'm not going to go through all those. If you want to learn how to podcast, basically having seen what you've just seen, who would you turn to? And with 14,000 students, I still can't believe it's that many. Do you think I have any problem keeping busy? Okay, so that's enough about me. Let's talk about you. You're an expert. You have a passion to share with the world. What would your life be like if you had 10,000 students taking your courses, or 20,000, or 100,000? So, I just want to talk a little bit about Teresa Greenway. And if you think your topic isn't popular enough, wait till you see what she teaches. For the next few minutes, I want to go through some other people who are online video course producers, instructors, and give you an idea of what they've done. Because it's one thing for me to say, well, this is what I've done. But can anybody do this? Yes. So here's Teresa. She makes sourdough bread. Now, if that's not a really niche topic, I don't know what is. And she's created 6 courses on making sourdough bread. And here they are. And she's made $30,000 basically in the last 8 or 9 months on sourdough bread. So any topic is going to work. Of course, we want to do the topics that maximize your potential earnings. Here's Phil Ebner. Now, he happens to teach 51 courses, and he's got 124,581 students at the time that I took the screenshot. That's a lot of students. And can you imagine doing that if you were in a school, like a physical school? How would you have 145,000 in students? Just could not do it. So here are some of his courses, and you'll notice that he focuses on Adobe, which is like a Photoshop, which is a image editing software, After Effects, which are like things going in and out of videos and all that sort of stuff. So he's basically picked one popular software company, and he's doing training on how to use their software. And here's his book, $10,000 a month from online courses. Okay, yeah, it's one of my heroes. Now here's Rob Cuban. Now, he happens to have 16 courses, and he has 70,000 plus students. And he's teaching Photoshop and web design. And in the last year, well, actually, it took him 3 years to build this. In the last year, he did $50,000, and lifetime, he's done over $100,000. And what's really cool with him and with Teresa is once the courses are created, the income is fairly passive. I'm not going to tell you that it's completely passive. There are things you need to do. You need to interact with your students. You need to update your courses. And just think about it for a second in terms of the software industry. What happens every year or 6 months? They update their programs. A new version comes out. So all of a sudden, all those students that they had who took their first Photoshop course or Adobe After Effects course, they need to take the next one to be able to learn all the new things that are in the new course. So it becomes an ongoing income stream, not only of new students coming in, but older students coming back. And this is our last example. Nick Walter, he's a college student, and he teaches 5 courses. He has a very interesting story. He doesn't have as many students as the others. He only has 28,000 students. He's over 565 reviews of his courses. And he was featured in Forbes magazine. And this is the article. How one college grad made $66,000 in 1 month without a full-time job. He was teaching online courses. And his story is really, really interesting because he taught how to use a certain software called Swift. And because he was in the game, he was interested in software. That was one part of it. But you don't have to do courses on software. I'm just giving you this as an example. And he was late. Like, there were lots of courses on all these different types of software that were out there, but he knew that Swift, this new software program, was coming out, and nobody knew how to use it. So he jumped on the bandwagon with it, and he took 4 days where all he did was get up, record, develop and record his course. And at the end of the 4 days, he had the course up and running. And this is it, Swift, iOS 8 and Swift, how to make iPhone apps. And the result of it, well, of course, it's got 14,000 students in it, but the result was that it made $40,000 in its first month because it was like the first course of its time. But he happened to be in the game. He happened to be making courses. He knew how to make courses. And then an opportunity presented himself that was like once in a lifetime, except that it'll probably happen again in 6 months in some other niche. And he took advantage of it. Now he averages about $5,000 a month since then, but in his first 18 months as an online course instructor, he made $220,000. Pretty impressive, particularly for someone who's probably not yet 25. So here are some of the advantages of reverse marketing. First of all, it works for you all the time. It never takes a day off. And once you do the work, it's done, and it's done forever. Unless, of course, you need to update and upgrade your course. And it builds your credibility and reputation automatically for you. So these are people that students come in, they take your course, they know who you are, they feel like they really know who you are, and you've got your reputation and your credibility built in. So instead of paying AdWords for leads, reverse marketing, what it does is it pays you as it gives you leads. So by doing these courses, what happens is we attract all of these students in, and you make money from them taking your course. Now, the key to reverse marketing is not just to do the course, but to think, okay, what do I want my students to do? So if this is a lead generation for my business, do I want them to take my workshop? Do I want them to join my group coaching? Do I want them to go into my mastermind? Do I want them to buy my Kindle book or my regular book? Do I want them in my coaching program? Do I have a software that I want them to buy on a regular, buy a subscription to, so they pay me a certain amount every month? So you need to think of this as one part of your business, and it's a way for you to get very, very good prospects into your funnel without costing you anything. In fact, it's going to pay you for that. And that's really the important part about reverse marketing. So remember this question: how would you like to know how to spend hours with your ideal clients without spending hours with your ideal client? That's what we're going to do. We're going to create an online course together. And after you've completed it, you're going to know the answer. After the students have completed it, they're going to know that you are the answer to their problems, whatever it may be. So what would happen if you joined a faculty of an online university that had 9 million active students? Do you think a few of them might be interested in your topic? I think so. Reverse marketing turns that age-old question on its head. Where do I find leads? We have 9 million of them. When I started, there were 4 million of them, and that was like not quite a year ago. So we have no idea how many more students are going to be joining us in 2016. I wouldn't be shocked if it was 20 million. I wouldn't be shocked if it was 15 million. I've no idea. I just know it's going to be a lot more than we have right now. And this is the old adage, a rising tide raises all ships. We are going into an industry that is very, very large, and it's growing very, very quickly. And we're associating ourselves with an online learning platform that is also growing very, very quickly. So we've put together a special workshop. It's a one-day workshop, and it's how to create courses on autopilot. Because face it, when it comes to creating online courses, you need to have good lighting, you need to have good camera, you need to have a good microphone, you need to have good content. You need to have the content organized in a way that makes sense to the student and helps them to learn. You need to be able to interact with the student, you need to be able to do a lot of things. And what we want to do is we've created a system, because I have done 35 courses in the last year, which works out to 3 courses a month. And let me tell you, I didn't do all the work myself, and we don't want you to do any more work than be the expert. So we're going to help you set up your course curriculum. We're going to talk about video and audio standards to make sure that when you do your recording is acceptable. All right, that it's going to fly. And then we're going to talk about presentation requirements for successful courses, which, how do you do a talking head? How do you do slideshows? How do you do screen captures? There's a lot of different ways that you can teach online using video, and we want to make sure that you cover all the different modalities. What are some of the other things that you should have? For example, PDFs, cheat sheets, quick start guides, quizzes, things that activities that get your students involved and moving. And these are all things that we want to go over so that when you put your course together, you have the maximum opportunity to create a very successful course. And the way that we do it, it doesn't take you a long time. So if you could spend 2 or 3 hours and have a very good online video course done, all right, that's how much time it took you. It might have taken 20 hours to make the course, but it only took you 2 or 3 hours. How many times could you do that over the course of a year to grow a really powerful student base and a community and a group of followers? And then how many of those people that we attract in would then move on to some of the other things that you would offer? And we're going to show you where to sell your courses. We're going to talk to you about how you can set up premium instructor accounts. We're going to go over your instructor bio to make sure that it does its job, which is, of course, edifying you, pre-selling you to the student. And we're going to show you the instructor interface that we like so that you feel really comfortable getting around, getting to know different pieces of information, where to find different pieces of information, and all the other important things that are part and parcel of being a successful online course instructor. We're going to go through the course outline curriculum, and in fact, in the workshop, I guarantee you will have your outline done. And we're going to have your premium account set up, and there's no cost for that. And we're going to have your first course topic chosen. Probably should have told you that before I told you that you're going to have the curriculum done. But it's really important that you have your course done, that you have the curriculum done, that you do the recording, and that you get the course up. It's not, I hate to say this to all you perfectionists out there, critical that it be the world's best course. And I'm going to tell you that unless you are very, very familiar and you do lots of YouTube videos or you've already done lots of online video courses, it's not going to be. The way I work, and this is the way I've told podcasters for 10 years, is your first podcast episode is your worst. And your second is your second worst. Because every time you do it, you improve. And after a year, if you go back and listen to your first one, you go, oh, I can't believe that's what I sounded like. That's normal, because as you go through this process, as you make more courses, you get better, you get faster, you understand what it is that you're doing, and you just blossom, because you're going to be doing what it is you love, which is sharing your message to millions of people around the world. You're going to leave the workshop with a course plan, and you're going to be ready to record your first course. All right, so I want to thank you very much for taking these few minutes to go through this reverse marketing conversation with me. I'm very, very excited about it. I started on my first course, which was podcasting, a little over a year and a half ago when I was in South America, and it was amazing to me, the excitement, the growth that was occurring at that time. And so I talked to a few of my clients, and I just said, do you want to do a course on whatever their topic was? And they all said yes. And the result was that I got a barrage. The result was I got a lot of videos, courses to produce in a very short period of time. And I realized that I'm not really a systems guy, but this is a very simple system. You do your curriculum, you record the curriculum, you edit the video, you upload the video, you do descriptions and course summaries, and then you're live, right? And so I worked on putting together a system so that there was very little for the expert to do but be the expert. As an expert, you do not want to be spending hours and hours and hours on Final Cut Pro or ScreenFlow or Camtasia, or figuring out on Audacity how to do something to the audio. You just want to get in front of your mic, get in front of your camera, lights, camera, action, talk for a couple hours, be done. And that's how we set it up. And so I'm going to be sharing with you all of my secrets, how you can get your video courses up, how you can get thousands and thousands of students into the courses fast, the importance of couponing and discounting and backlinking and all those sort of other good things we'll cover as well, so that you can get your course up and all of a sudden have people coming to you from all over the world saying, Mr. Instructor, Ms. Instructor, I need help, and what else can you help me with? And so I really want you to think about this as a way to generate leads that pays you for the leads, as opposed to just a way, and it could be for you too. I mean, there's a lot of instructors, and I've showed you a few, where A lot of the income they derive comes just from doing these courses. And there's a bell curve on everything. A certain number of people will get in and it'll just be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $100,000 a month coming from their courses. Other people will get in and they will struggle. That's just the nature of the beast. What we want to do is we want to take away that dependency on the course performing financially. What we want to do is we want to have it perform financially for you, and it has certainly for me. And then in addition to that, there is the back end. So let me give you an example. I work with a fellow who has a software for trading stock options. So we did a series, actually it's up to 6 courses now, on how to trade stock options. When they go through the course, they get a free month of the program. So they learn the program, they learn the strategies, they learn everything, they ask us questions, they get a whole month of using the software, and what happens at the end of the month? Scott, I want to continue using the software. And so we have the back end. We're quite happy to have them continue to use the software for a small fee, and we're away to the races. So that's just one example, real world examples happening right now on how you can use online video courses for reverse marketing. So there's more details about how to get to the special workshop, where it is, and everything else just below us. So please sign up. There's only going to be room for, I think, 25 people. And we'd really love you to be one of them. I look forward to meeting you, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.